You're welcome. It's still Good Morning, Anambra, and now we are here to talk about holding Nigerian politicians accountable. Over the years, Nigeria has been a nation with checkered history in politics, in our political life. And of course, a lot of communities are not really happy with their representatives here and there. And we are going to really look at how possible, is it a possibility that these politicians could be held accountable where they are, but because when we talk about we are the people that are sending you to go and represent us, we're supposed to ask questions from now and then. And of course, that's why we're here this morning. My name is Nonye Mokoye. All right, you're welcome to the show. And in the studio we have Comrade Chiamaka Angela Okbara Ojiego, the President, Anambra State Female Comrades. Good to have you in the studio.
Good morning.
You're welcome. All right, we also have Nonso Orakwe, who is a State Coordinator, Catch Them Young Community Initiative. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
All right, Nonso, let me start with you. I don't want to do ladies first today. All right, when we talk about our politicians, how would you see the nature of the politicians we have in Nigeria? How would you assess them? What's your assessment of them, or who are they to you?
Okay, normally politicians are still normal human beings that we relate to on our daily activities, and they are not different from us. The only thing that made them different is they are representing us in a particular position or stuff like that. But recently, okay, over the years, since the inception of democracy in Nigeria, I think the problem started with not understanding what democracy is all about. A few days ago, we just celebrated the International Democracy Day. And you can imagine what people are asking. Do we have democracy? Do we practice democracy? Is it a paper thing or a reality? Okay? And that brings me close to, we have democracy on paper. And that is where the problem started. Not understanding what the democracy is all about. So our politicians jumped into democracy without really knowing what is expected of them. If democracy could be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It's not government of Nonso Orakwe. It's not government of or their governor. It is the people. So you are there to represent the people, not for your selfish interest. So the politicians turned the democracy definition to suit themselves and not for the people. So since the inception, we've been managing, it was somehow, manageable at the early stage. But now people feel that democracy or leadership is where you can go and make money. In fact, the easiest way to do Yahoo is to get into politics, and you make it overnight.
And why do you think this is so?
That is what I'm saying now. Not understanding what the democracy, not carrying the minds of the people at heart, not knowing exactly what. Let me take, for instance, in 2015, where I participated as a contestant in House of Assembly, Anambra State, on HR South one. People don't even understand the roles of House of Assembly member. Then the candidates or aspirants doesn't even understand their roles when they get there. So their role, what the inscription is, once I get there, I'll look at people's constituency funds, and I'll get back to check here. How will I share this money? People that led me to the position, what percentage will I share? So you find out that the mindset, they are not prepared. They don't know what to do. The mindset is, let me go there and loot.
And you think that this is not born out of the fact that, will I say, a generation, or will I say a system is born out of the people that are in the system. So if we are having difficulties holding our leaders accountable, don't you think that the responsibility too is on the people that they are?
Now, when we come to that, we will now talk about the roles of citizens and where we have failed as citizens. It still boils down on ignorance. How many persons can walk down to the local government and demand for this road constructed a few days ago? What's happened? How did it come about? Who is the contractor?
And everything.
How much was involved? Nobody asked because they felt they don't have the knowledge. Even if they have the knowledge, they feel the fear of the unknown cripples them. I don't want to be tagged an enemy of the local government chairman. I wouldn't want to be tagged an enemy of the ward councillor. In fact, funny enough, in 2012 or thereabout, I came across a document where erosion was approved. Erosion menace. I think there was a kind of approval from the local government. That document should be in my house now. And amount that was approved for that erosion issue, was in my town. The amount, the erosion issue was in my town. The amount was about 20 million. So I got to my village and I was like, where is the erosion? I didn't see the erosion. I didn't see no problem. Talk more of the solution to solve it. I've not seen any kind of that level of erosion that will consume 20 million. I started asking questions.
All right, let Chiamaka come in now. Chiamaka, I don't know. What, in your own opinion, what actually do you think it means? What does it mean to hold politicians to account? What does it actually mean to you?
Okay. What it means to me to hold the politicians accountable? Yeah, the people voted in the politicians. And before they come into power, they made a lot of promises to the people. And that promises they made to the people have to hold them accountable for how they use the resources when they empowered them. So politics is all about good governance. And the key that should be all about.
Let's use the proper words here.
It's okay. It should be all about good governance, and that is what it is. So the key attributes to good governance and efficient delegation is accountability. I mean, the politicians are supposed to give a good account of their office. Before they come into power, they made promises to the people. Before the people voted them in, they promised to take care of their welfare and their security. And then when they come into power and they are not seeing all those things, they need to ask questions. They need to react. And you see, most time our people, the citizens, they vote blindly. Like my colleague said, he said most of the citizens don't even know the role of House and Assembly member. So you see, they just come in to vote, and most time the politicians share money to them, give them bags of rice. I mean, just think of it. When a politician is coming out for a campaign, he spends a lot, try to buy the minds of the people. Is that supposed to be the way it should go? Then, after those spending, then he comes into the office. The people are expecting him now to still carry out those promises he made before he comes into power. I mean, he should be there to at least fill in the gaps, the vacuum he created while campaigning. So it's not his fault if things are not going on properly. I mean, the people have to...
Are you standing in for the politicians now?
No, I'm not. You know, why I'm actually mentioning this way is because the people most time, they see themselves as an enemy to the politicians. They see it that the politicians have taken their own share of the government's national cake. So, but I want to let the people also know that in a way they contributed to what we are suffering, to the bad economy.
Established that people should hold them accountable because they are the ones that put them on seats there, you know.
In actual sense, the way I think people are, there is hunger in the town, in the country, and therefore, if you are given a token to sing praises.
All right, so hold it, because we'll still get there.
Okay.
You know, when we talk about the reasons why it seems, you know, the people are not rising to the challenge of holding their politicians accountable. Okay, we can talk about that. All right.
Yeah, my question there is, when the people, when these people come to campaign, you understand, don't you think that there should be INEC on the part, some kind of let's say sensitization of the masses, so that we know the right people to contest, or rather to be on the platform to be voted into power? Because there is totally apathy when you talk about people and the people that governs us.
Okay, I still want to join this issue with what I want to say.
All right, go ahead.
The reason why people doesn't get the real people is because of money. Not that they don't know who can serve very well.
Money or proper orientation?
Not, the orientation is there. The orientation is there. Self-orientation, and then orientation by stakeholders, like catch them young, vote not fight, and all of that. But the orientation you give to yourself is key. Now, take for instance, I was in a polling unit sometime, I think last 2 elections, that brought in Willie Obiano in the second tenure. I was there when I was called to report at the polling unit that something is wrong. I said, what is that? That one of the officials, not INECO, but I think trained ad hoc staff, was actually trying to stamp the ballot papers in favor of a particular political party. On arriving there, someone called me. Come, okay, we are giving you 300,000 naira cash. Then check off 150,000. It is my conscience. How will I take 300,000 naira that will just finish in the next day? I will use it to pay house rent or do some other things and it's finished. And my problem still remains the same. So what I'm trying to say is this. It's not all about people's, they have the message. They know the right thing to do. But these problems, unlike this campaign we are doing now, I think it has gotten to the bone marrow of the people that they need to say, no, we are tired of this thing. If na hunger, make hunger kill us, but let's get the real leaders. If until the day of the election, we will know. I'm telling you. So what I'm trying to say is this. Money has really influenced people's decision in a way that, in a manner that we are struggling to get back to where democracy, where democracy, activities are made. So on the part of INEC, I don't think, I don't have, with this issue now, I don't have issue with INEC decision until we get to their office, where they sometimes, I know that happens in the past, it's not happening now, where they sometimes, compromised the real winner of the election and get some other persons involved. And that was what made the people not to have confidence in the system. So what I'm trying to say is this. The people, they have the message. It's only, someone who is hungry and there is food on his front. He refused the food. Why hungry?
Okay, now, let me quickly let us know that it's audience participatory. We expect you to call and make your own contribution on whether there's a possibility of holding Nigerian politicians accountable and what ways you think it's best for us to do that as citizens of this great nation. Now, Nonso has really touched so many things about money, which I feel it's the reason why these politicians or people don't speak up to bring them to book or bring them to account to what they are doing there in their various positions. Now, Why do you think it is important to hold these politicians accountable, and whose responsibility it is to do that?
The law, it's there for the law to hold the politicians accountable.
The law?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the people as well, because they voted them in. They empowered them into the government to represent them at the upper echelon. So they have to explain to the people, they have to account to the people how they manage the resources they were empowered with before they get into the office. And so why the people have to do this is to checkmate the excesses of those in the public offices. So I think it's the people, the politicians should be accountable to the people on how they managed the resources.
In addition, people need to have information. Browse what is obtained at the federal level for your community or for your constituency. What is there for you as constituency projects? Follow up these things. Someone who attended, who went for first tenure and then came back again to seek for second tenure, the person must campaign now in a gathering. Town hall meetings, I don't know, some of them doesn't even hold town hall meetings, because that is where sensible people can, you know, speak out, ask questions. Sometimes what do you see them? They will just gather in a one open space where such thing cannot come up. But people should demand for that town hall meeting. If you want to go for second tenure, please, let's have a town hall meeting. Representative from each community. It might not be crowd. Representative from each community. Each community you are representing should provide 5 persons. If it's 10 communities, for instance, you have like 50 persons on ground. All those 50 people cannot be Muron at the same time. They must find a way to ask questions. If A didn't ask, B will ask. Okay, there is this electricity, this transformer that's supposed to come so time. With your information, what happened? Oga, tell us. You want to go for second tenure? People, I'm telling you, they will after the meeting, you will see what will happen. But the problem is this: the politicians will leave once he's about to contest for the second tenure, he will have some bags of money. Ojekulu, already work Ojekulu, near head 500,000, just to make sure that he will not talk again. Those that mouthpiece of the people at the community level, you share the money. After, they will just forget like that, knowing fully well that that money will soon vanish. So what I'm trying to say is this: it is important, if people really want to engage our politicians, 1, town hall meeting. 2, let the young people reduce praise singing for these people. Once you are giving 5,000 naira, you will, a whole lot need to be done. And that is why our politicians should leave whatever, our leaders, let me use the word leaders.
Is this something your organization, Catch Them Young Initiative, is into?
Exactly.
Because you're speaking more like...
Yes.
Then now, if that is the objection of your organization, don't you think that you should be in schools sensitizing the next generation of would-be politicians?
We do that. We do that. Our position officially is 2 years now. But it's 10 years. We started as, it's more than 10 years. We started as early as 2010 with environmental governance and all that. We go to school, we harness people, young people's talents. Even as we are running program now, any opportunity we have with the youth, we tell them what they need to know at this early stage.
Okay, the program is still Good Morning Anambra, holding Nigerian politicians accountable, how possible 8 days. And at this point, we take a short break here. Let's feel the pulse of the masses. We'll be back after now.
onye ọchịchị weta obere ego nyechi ụmụ ikorobịa na ụmụ agbọghọbịa ha tiwe mkputi kenebiye sobiye tubiye onye eze ifu ebe a na-awụ onye ori ekunye okpu eze olugo mgbe anyị awọwo na ahụ ajọ ife akpọ ya ajọ ife maka na ọwụ na nsị na nna azụ ọchịchị weta ego nye gị ịnalị m ya kwa ajụ nwa ajụ ya kwa ewu ihe mmiri ọbụla mme maka na m egologo mkpụrụ obi egolo uche gị ego anyị nyere gị eri ogbolo one ọwee gwụ ọdụgo mma mgbe anyị awụ onye mee ihe adịrọ mma sọ ọnụkwu onye ụmụ ikorobịa na ụmụ agbọghọbịa maka ndị okenye ike agwụgo ha nwere ebe ndị okenye dị Nigeria eje.
You should be conscious of governance. It's no longer you stay at your home and criticize government. We should be mindful of who will vote into the seat, government seat. Because if you don't know the kind of person you vote, the tendency, whatever he gives you, you accept it. So we should be very conscious and see that we criticize them positively.
Well, in advanced country, it's obtainable, but here, you can say whatever you want, give your opinion. It's left to them to do what? To hear or to implement it. But we, as citizens of this country, we can talk. After giving your opinion or your suggestion, it will end like just like a beer parlor talk or hotel talk. So it discourages us to give our own information. If our government will bring an opinion or information bus, or as they used to do it before, once in a month, our governor, our president will come out. We, the citizens, we have the opportunity to have a chat with him or her. Tell him or her our opinion, the condition of the country or the state. If they will do that, that will be a good avenue for us to reach them.
All right, you're welcome back to the studio. That's people or citizens of the country speaking their mind on the issue at hand, holding Nigerian politicians accountable. And of course, one was actually saying there is need for people to speak up. There is need for people to, talk when they don't see what they should see on ground with their politicians working the way they ought to work. And I don't know if you have any reaction to some of the things they said here.
Okay. The country will begin to get more better when the citizens have their own interests at heart as well, not just the interests of the politicians, because the politicians they come to brainwash them, and then they leave their own interests to go for the interests of the politicians. Imagine at the voting ground, a party agent comes to share you money to tell you vote for PDP. And maybe at home you know that the right candidate should come from APC. And then just 1,000, please, vote for PDP. And you went there, you changed your mind and you vote for PDP. Knowing fully well that the PDP candidate will not give us what we want. So my colleague mentioned again, INEC sensitizing people, mostly on the duties of these public offices. What is the duty of a House of Assembly member? What about the House of Representatives, the senators and all? People at the grassroots, they don't know all this. All they know is that they are campaigning and they are coming out to vote. Who are we voting for? The highest bidder, the party that presents something more to them. Is it supposed to be like that? So if we should have our own interest at heart as well, knowing fully well that if we vote in the wrong candidate, everyone will suffer. We will suffer. The school, you might not be able to pay this. The school fees might increase. Things might just, and how much did they give you there? 5,000 naira won't even go over a week. You see, so if the INEC as well can take more responsibility in educating the people, doing community sensitization before the election, let the people know that you don't just have to come out and vote because Emeka is voting for APC. My brother, who are you with? APC. Okay, now let's go for APC. Man, you should have a decision of your own.
Since you guys are a system whereby you're catching people young, I think I have two questions for you. As in, do you see in Nigeria with better kids having the proper orientation to keep our leaders accountable? And secondly, away from Nigeria, what other way, as in your own opinion, what do you think can be done to harness this thing so as to create that hunger, you understand, so that people will know the right thing to do when it has to do with entrusting leadership on these politicians?
Okay, first of all, I see a better, young, vibrant, eloquent young people taking over this country in the nearest future with the proper orientation. Why did I say so? We work with young people, and I can tell you that we have many who are psychologically and mentally drained. And there are people who are psychologically and mentally sound. People who sit down every day, night, to think about this country, to proffer solutions to this country, to the problem of this country. So there are people like that. And therefore, those people will soon emerge. And the process has started long ago. And we are seeing how it's running now. Okay? So the proper thing we have done so far, and we are still doing is conscientization, just as you said. But for us to make it permanent, and permanent rolling, is I think it's high time government as a course, is it course or a subject, should be should be added.
That's the curriculum, school curriculum.
Yes. Okay. Government is there, but they need to add what we call good governance or subject. Yes, to it, right from the either primary school or secondary school, where you begin to tell people about leadership, about politics.
Who knows whether that will happen with this leadership school that was opened in Oba just over the weekend.
Okay.
Who knows whether that will be happening there?
Do you know why I'm telling you this? We think we are the people, the adults are playing politics. The politics has got to, the children have now known the rudiments of politics. Because, though in a negative way, any politician's half is money. Apart from their uncles and whatever. See politicians, did they give you money? Did he give you money? So what they know politicians for is
there is loose money to play around with.
Okay? So if that's good governance as a subject, or good governance and democracy, I don't know how they will call it, bring it in. And also, they should allow, sometimes we find it difficult to get to schools, even with your name, with everything. They should have these CSOs who have passion for good governance to get into schools. Sometimes you will write, before you get approval to attend to one school, you do like this. Not that you are going there to kidnap anybody.
Or to extort money from the state.
Or to which money are we extorting? So, and once this thing is done earlier, before the next decade, we'll be able to get young people who are willing to sacrifice for this country.
No, let's really be real now. With reality on ground and with the situation we found ourselves in this country, Nigeria, presently, do you think there is any possibility that citizens of this nation will begin to rise to this onerous responsibility of holding their politicians accountable?
I think so. It has started already.
Okay.
Yes. This 2023 election will surprise so many people. It's no longer about is my party. Long ago, when it comes to House of Assembly elections, what they will do is the governor will even influence the election to suit all his party members. If he wants to digress, he will digress. He will just allow 1 or 2 areas to be free where he doesn't have interest. Okay? But majority in the house must be from his party. But I think what is happening now is affecting both the rich and the poor. Okay? So 2023 election, with what I'm seeing on ground, will give so many people BP and shock. It's not going to be business as usual. Why did I say so? I've seen the rich men cry. Now, the business I did the other day flopped. The rich men are even borrowing money now to survive because he can't go down to the poor man's level, okay? He will want to maintain that level. Since there is no money, he has to go and borrow. Then the poor man is crying that I've not eaten 2 square meals today. What is happening? I need to grow up. In fact, with this thing that is happening, we are going to change the system. Anything that is, I've seen people saying it. So, but the fact is this. I want to repeat what I'm saying. I said before. The fact is this. Until it gets to the bone marrow, maybe as they are saying it, I've not, money, we've not seen money to the market now. Once the election comes, money will come market. And when the money comes to the market, we'll now check if this statement I'm hearing now will touch those people that are eager to change this country. But trust me, with the level of what I'm seeing now, a whole lot of things will change for better.
A whole lot of things will change from better. Well, that's not so like we're saying. But then we still, Nigeria is our country. We have no other place to escape to. Sensitization being the key. The youth of this country, the onus on them for good leadership lies in their hand. And yeah, I don't think being just all about talk and talk without proper foundation will see us through. I still maintain the fact that we need to have the necessary tools in order to ensure that this is just not talk. You understand? This is not just talk, but we want to see this sensitization move to the next level. You talked about having issues about getting to schools to make your case known. Don't you think that you need to explore other avenues? If you're finding it difficult to sensitize the youth in schools, you need to create other avenues. What have you done towards that, so as to create this Catch Them Young initiative to get our youth properly in tune with governance?
Well, that is I think why I shared this is some time ago it happened, and recently we are yet to engage the new commissioner of education, and the last time we had a program was with Asubeb and Asubeb, this one here. So I think the fact still remains that individual differences, okay? You will, just like there are certain parastatals you want to engage, they will be turning you up and down. The time we wanted to do stuff on environment, we went to engage the Commissioner for Environment, not now, past years. I don't want to mention the name of the person. We had a kind of a movie where it is purely the Bobodocha, where we organized young people, we did a whole lot of sanitation, you know, we engaged Lager of then during the time of P2B. And recently during Willow Piano, we engaged the, Aswama, there is a company that does that too. So we want to use that medium to pass message to people, to sensitize them on how to dispose with properly. But that film, I brought it to the ministry. It was killed. Later, I found out that it was used. It was used for Anambra. I was happy. But not carrying the CSOs, even the person that brought the idea along. I was very happy that it happened. But it could have been more effective if the people that brought this idea on board were used, and also connect other CSOs at the local government level. But I want to appreciate Mr. Governor Soludo for taking a giant step now. I think we are less complaining on waste than before.
Okay, no.
So it's very important that parastatal, the head of parastatal, should always listen to CSOs anytime they come for them for help.
All right, we've all spoken beautifully. You know, talking about holding our politicians accountable. Now, do you think there are no challenges that we were going to face in the course of trying to hold them accountable?
if the right things are done, I don't think we should have challenges. I'm happy now the way things are going based on this coming general election. You see the people already, they are pissed off. They are fed up with the way things are going in the country. The economy keep on depreciating every day. You see the youth now, they are now campaigning against bad governance. In fact, this time around, they are putting their own resources to see that the good governance comes on seat. It's no longer them now taking from the politicians, but they are contributing for the right person to come on seat. So if things are done in the right direction, I think they shouldn't be challenges.
All right, as we are wrapping up, because our time is fast spent here, quickly, Nonso, what are the ways we can engage these people to be able to bring them to account?
Citizens, the young people especially, should look for informations that will help them to address this issue of accountability. You can't accuse anybody without having an information. So leave your comfort zone. Go to ministry, browse, get real information about your constituency. Ask questions to that person that is representing you. If you can't see him, write to him. If you can't do it individually, join a group. You can come and join us in our activities, Catch Them Young Community Initiative, so that we can harness these things together and then push it out to them, and then ask them questions if you can't do it individually, because most people are afraid of going to these politicians to ask these questions. They don't know it's their right to ask questions. So one is information, two is sensitization, just as we are doing here now. Please, your money, the money is very important, but it can't take you far. So collecting money from them could be fine momentarily, but when you want to get it right, know that there is a generation after you. There must be a generation after you. So for that generation after you, please shun the money and then put these people on track. Put them on a hot seat. Put them on a hot seat. Ask them questions, they will run away from you. If you are knocking again before for them, please drop the gong and then ask him question.
Well, we can go on, but time is no longer a friend here. We thank you so much for watching this show today, holding Nigerian politicians accountable. Of a truth, there is need for our nation to be great again. We thank you so much, Nonso Orakwe, for being here today. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Remember, we are voting 2023. Use your PVC as your gun.
All right, Comrade Chiamaka Angela, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I'm honored.
And that's just about it on Good Morning Anambra show for today. My name is Nonya Wokoye.